Are we going? Are we going? I think we're going. Let's get this shit on the road, baby. Here we go. We are doing a championship transfer review. We're going to look at the biggest transfers in and out of this league, and more importantly, the rumours. Because this week, there's not been a lot going on in terms of actual signings. There's been a couple, and a couple big ones at that. But mainly, it's starting to hot up now. There's a lot of the bigger pieces in this puzzle are starting to make the moves. There's a lot of big clubs starting to sort of flex the wings a little bit. There's been some big sales, or there's about to be some big sales at top of league, and I think that will just filter down slowly. There's obviously some sides that still haven't done anything, like Middlesbrough are yet to sign a diddly. But with some of the links that are being thrown around, who knows? It might be quite soon. But boys, I appreciate you all being here. It's great to see you. I would just like to say very quickly, a shout out to Match Bingo for sponsoring the channel. As always, if you deposit £5, you get £10 free. Season starting soon. It's an alternate to traditional gambling. And every Friday when we're doing his watch-alongs, because I'm gonna keep ramming them on, boys. Don't worry, I've got my schedule set for the first month, and I'm gonna be on it every game. So it's worth a look. If nothing else, it's worth a look. Just go and like have a flutter, mate. There's a top link in the description. Deposit £5, you get £10 free. Fully don't know? Now you know, buddy. Now you know. Right. Let's address the big golden elephant in this room, okay? Josh Windass and Michael Smith have been released from their duties at the shithole they call Hillsborough. I bet they're absolutely thanking the Lords above. There is a God. Holy moly, there is a God. Now, we need to not take piss a minute, okay? Windass is and was probably Wednesday's best player. And I'm not saying this because we hashtag bros. Like, on a reel, if you look at it from outside in, 13 goals, 5 assists, is scoring goals from halfway line seasonally. He's putting up Puskas Award nominations every year. He's comfortably one of, if not the best players. I think you could maybe put like Gassam. Charles were really good last season. But you are looking at someone like this who can just get you points out of nothing and score goals out of nowhere. And to have someone like that go, especially with the shithole that Wednesday are in, it is almost certain relegation. Like, I don't blame, and I think I'd have this stance if Basel were in this mess as well. I don't blame him or Smith or anybody else that has put the notice in for wanting to leave. These are obviously older lads right now. What? Windass is 31. What's Smith? About 34, something like that. They've obviously got like one big last payday somewhere else that they can get, where they might actually get paid the wage, which obviously helps as well. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Jesus Christ. Oh, I didn't even put my tweet out. Oh no, what the hell? I would just flow in as well. I've not put my tweet out promoing it. Shit. Right, anyway, let's carry on. I think we've got to realise that having someone like this available on a free transfer is just going to alert absolutely every single team in a 400-mile radius. If you can get someone like this for free, everybody's going to be looking at it. Absolutely everybody. There were certain teams that were flirting with him, like, obviously, I'll say the ones that were heavily reported anyway. Like, Wrexham, Rangers, I'll stay at that. There's Norwich as well. There's a lot of sides that were looking at him before anyway, but weren't willing to pay a fee. Obviously, now that he's a free agent, now that he... Oh my God, a Golden John, what the hell, Jake? Obviously, now that he's a free agent, you're going to get every club in Championship looking at him. Every single club in the league is going to look at him. Do a foreign interest anyway, but they're going to be looking at him. Mate, I'm not apparently lecturing for him. I would not be surprised, seriously, if his agent woke up this morning with 23 contract offers from Championship on his desk. Coventry flirted to him a few times, West Brom, when Carlos were there. Everybody's going to fancy it. Everybody. And he's on a wedge, don't get me wrong. He's absolutely minted. He's on 50 grand a week. But he's going to take... He's not going to take a wage cut from where he's at, but he's going to take a wage cut from 50. There were like a Premier League side look at him at one point. If nothing else, it'd be a good bench option for like at least every team in this league. Every single team in this division. It will go to Hull for his dad. I highly, highly doubt that. Personally. He's obviously going to be going up. He's going to get more money, or he wants to put his notice in because he's got a year left. So he's going to go somewhere and get more money than what he were on. Didn't he already play for Rangers? He did, but Russell Martin is his pal. So, I agree. He won't tell me who he's going to. I don't think he knows, because obviously now there's a free agent and the amount of interest has been put in him. But I think he'll go Wrexham. And I actually don't know. I'm not saying that, and this isn't some big scoop. I don't know. He won't tell me. I've tried getting out him for it. I've tried squeezing it out of him and he won't tell me. But, yeah, Wrexham, I think, suits him perfectly for, like, post-career stuff as well. He's someone that could defo go on and have a career in. He could do something like this afterwards. He could sit in his mum and dad's bedroom if he wanted to. Just doing transfer lives on a Friday instead of going to pub. Nothing Blues this week. There is nothing Blues this week, unfortunately. There's a lot going on. It is just doomed for Wednesday, innit? And I know it's just easy to say, and I don't want to sit here and just take piss. Well, I do. But I'm not going to sit here and just take piss. But it's just another nail in a long line of nails in this coffin, innit? It's just so much doom and gloom. I don't know how. I still don't know how EFL had stepped in and took it off him. Took it off Chansiri. Because there's just some every day, isn't there? Rose come back, but he's going again. They can't even go in North Stand because it's falling to bits. These players have gone. The new ownership, the new takeover stalled. I struggle to see them. I look at the team that they've got now, because they've obviously brought no one in yet. But I am struggling to see where they're going to win a game. Seriously. Look at the fixtures they've got. They're crap at home as well. They're literally better away from home. What team are they going to line up and go, you know what, we could get a win today? Because I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing 1 point. They might have win. The team's so bad. Obviously, they still can't sign Bannon on a contract because he's on, what's he on, 25, he's on between 25 and 30 grand a week, Baz. And the current wage cap puts him at 7. If you think Barry Bannon is going to stay at Wednesday for 7 grand a week, you're absolutely lost. He's only not left anywhere. He's not left to go somewhere else yet because no one else has daffed him to pay him the amount of money that Wednesday have paid him for year on end because he's not as good as what Wednesday have paid him. They're going to knock a statue up after, once he's finished, for 2 relegations to League One. And what, £10 million in wages because no one else is daft enough to give him that money? But Windass has actually got something about him and he's a good player. I don't know where he'd go. I would love to see him go to Sheffield United just for a laugh, but I don't think he will. I think he'll be Wrexham, personally. I've also seen people saying like, "Oh, Bolton and Barnsley." I've seen some of them names getting lobbed about. You are a donut. Think about it properly for a minute. He's on a massive wage. A lot of players at Wednesday are on stupid money that they won't get somewhere else. That is their brand. Why would he add his notice in to forfeit a year of very good wages unless he's going to go somewhere else and get more money? So you're looking at teams that can realistically offer him 30 grand-ish plus, and one of them is Wrexham. I just think, or Rangers, maybe they come in for him late on again, maybe. But I think it will be Wrexham, personally, but he will not tell me, as I've said. He will not tell me, the little goose. Joseph, thank you for the £2, my friend. QPR are in 8th and a left back away from top 6, I'm telling you. See, I actually agree. I think man for man, QPR look very good. But, they're beating Toulouse 2-1 at half time now. See, you know, other day they lost to someone and they looked absolutely crap. A lot of the fans were saying we're going down. So, pre-season friendlies means absolutely nothing. I agree with you, Joseph. I'm not going to lie. I think, personnel-wise, you're not a million miles off being a very good side. Especially going forward. You've got a lot going forward. A lot. But I appreciate it, Joseph. Thank you for the £2, my friend. Thank you for the £2. Click wrong. Les says 2 weeks today till footy is back, boys. We are so close to paradise. True. God, two weeks today. First watch along. Shit. Oh my god. First watch along. Oh my goodness me. We are so back, baby. Talk about Watford for once, I beg. But what have you even done this week? If Watford have done something from a player in this country that I can speak about, that's great. But they're bringing in lads that I've never heard of in my life that I can't have an opinion on. You know what I mean? I can't have an opinion on someone I've never seen in my entire life. Unfortunately. But yeah, I imagine Wind has to go to Wrexham. But it is a humongous loss for Wednesday, as if they didn't already know it. Now, this is as well. Michael Smith is another big loss to him because he scored a lot of important goals. 8 goals, 6 assists for someone that's about 300. Like, a lot of players now can go for longer, but Smith, I think maybe his height don't help him because he just looks like a big stiff idiot when he's walking around, and then he'll just plop one into top corner. I think that could be a miss as well. Now, the two teams linked most, Blackpool and MK Dons, to my knowledge. I think he'd go Blackpool personally. They're like an old boy, a striker and all. They're very like Jordan Rose, for example. He were doing business for a little bit. Um, I don't think MK Dons could offer him the game time that Blackpool could, which is absolutely ridiculous to say when MK Dons are a full division below. But you look at the players that they're bringing in, MK Dons, and the other players that they're linked to, like Tavid at Colchester, they're spending some stupid money. They're building a top League One side now in League Two. I think he'd go Blackpool, personally. I think he's got a bit more about him than to just sort of leave now, to leave his career behind and go to MK Dons now for a year. I also think that Blackpool could honestly offer him like one win option. But it'd be a good pickup for a lot of teams in League One because he's still got it. He can still do the business, that man, can't he? Definitely. Limits, thank you for the 5, mate. I appreciate it a lot. Been watching for a while. How are you fancying Grimsby's chances next season? Love and guidance. Thing is, you've lost that fullback to Fleetwood, haven't you? Who looked half decent. I know that he's gone for money, but he did look quite good. And I think not so much about Grimsby themselves, but top end of League Two looks fairly strong. It does look quite strong. Obviously, MK Dons are like last year's Birmingham for League One. They're promoted before it even starts. They look really, really good. You've got a lot of the sides coming down that I think could be near top. Chesterfield will have a lot to say. I think Salford will be in and around it, maybe. Oldham won't be a million miles off. I'd say somewhere between 8th and 12th. I've not seen enough yet to say that I think you could get top 6 personally. And I like Grimsby. And if we stay down, I hope you come up because I want to go to Grimsby away. It's weird, but Grimsby is one of them places that I'm dying to go. Has anybody ever said that before? I doubt it. But thank you, Limits. I appreciate it for the 5. Very kind of you. But right now, I'd say like just outside playoffs. Luke, my man, thank you for the member badge. Member for 4 months. Shit, this guy's been about. Quite concerned with lack of Middlesbrough business. Yes, but we're going to get into a... We're going to get into a massive rumour that I've seen recently that could set things going for you. But yeah, I'd be worried as well. I'm not going to lie, I would be worried as well. Obviously, Rob Edwards is a completely different system to that of what Carrick has... Rob Edwards and Carrick are 2 very contrasting managers. Carrick has been building the squad that you've currently got for like a number of years now. Rob Edwards has come in, brought none of his own players in, and is expected to play his style of football with Carrick's players. And that does worry me a little bit. It does. For a side that weren't good enough last year anyway, in a fairly poor league, when you saw like Bristol City get in there and stuff like that, no disrespect to Bristol City, but West Brom, Norwich, them sort of sides weren't performing. I think Middlesbrough, if anything at minute, look like they're going worse. And it will get a lot worse, especially when you look at some of the, well, a player that you've got that's been linked with going somewhere else. But thank you, Luke. Remember for 4 months, my man. Enjoy the John. Zachary, thank you for the 5, my friend. Very kind of you. Liverpool trying to bully Newcastle into selling Isaac was so funny to see fail. Man City are also taking piss within this Trafford buyback stuff. I've not seen that. I've not seen the Trafford stuff. Snoop Dogg investing in Swansea is very funny. I've not seen that with Trafford and Man City buyback. I didn't even know they had one. What, to come in as a backup? I just don't think he'd want to go, personally. And that were funny, seeing Liverpool get humbled. But at the same time, it is like big boy moves. And it's something that you'd expect a title winner with the amount of money that Liverpool have got to do. You know what I mean? You would expect him to just give Newcastle this ultimatum. Give us your striker now, or we're going to take your replacement. You know what I mean? And then next season, we'll probably just come in for him again. But, yeah... I rate Liverpool and what they're doing, personally. But I have not seen that with the Trafford stuff. I've not seen that. I thought Newcastle wanted him. Burnley look doomed anyway, don't they? So this time next year he'll be gone. But, yeah, I've not seen that with that. But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Zach, Luke, Limits, Joseph, thank you. Early donations. Very, very kind of you, boys. Love you all. Kiss. Very, very nice of you all. Very nice. Let's move on to the other side. Well, we'll actually move into Sheffield now. We've left South Barnsley and we're off into Sheffield. Right. Hamer linked with PSV. I don't know how likely this is, but from the tweets that have been put out and journals and that's been reporting it, mainly from Dutch side of things, said that PSV are very keen. Whether they've got 15 million to spend, I actually don't know. But with some of the transfer fees that I'm seeing foreign leagues whip out recently, like Galatasaray have dropped 40 million quid up front for Osimhen, a Turkish side. Where are these teams getting this money from? I have no idea. But yeah, PSV look very keen. I think Leeds are still one that will come in. Leeds have him is definitely on Leeds' radar, 100%. I just think he's probably quite far down list at minute, as opposed to some other players that they're looking at. They're going very foreign Leeds, aren't they, with what they're looking for? But him and a lot of Sheffield United fans think he'll stay. I just can't see it, boys. I can't see it. PSV got 35 million for that lad. Oh, fair enough. Oh, they've got some brass then. I cannot see him staying. I can't. Maybe he's happy and all this, but I don't think you can keep a player of that quality in Championship 2 years on bounce. Me personally. I don't know. I don't know, boys. But if he does go, what do you see season being like for Sheffield United? If him is to leave that team, obviously Sousa's gone already. You are going to lose Anel Dave as well. The players that they've been linked to bringing in at minute aren't the most inspiring ever. Like, they're not the most inspiring transfers or links that I've ever seen in my life. The Bindon one is good, don't get me wrong. But all these like Hungarians that they're bringing in, they're just hoping to work. They've been linked to someone else that we're going to look at on next slide as well, which is like half decent, but not a top Championship club signing. Do you know what I mean? Or link even. Maybe I were ahead of the game with the 18th. That's where I'm at now. Maybe I was actually like knowledgeable with the 18th prediction for Sheffield United, because it does feel like the chance is almost gone, and it feels like I feel like these owners that have come in, these new investment group, these Yanks, I think they've come in expecting to get promoted in first place, to then spend all this money and then look quite good. But I'm not. Oh, they're scaring me. If I was a Sheffield United fan, my arsehole would be going. Sorry, guys, I just had to ruin it there. Kieran, thank you for the 5. Don't worry, limits. I'll get you. It's just not come up. Kieran, thank you for the 5. I appreciate it, mate. Derby spending £6 million on a striker from US is worrying to me. Squad still needs a lot of additions and feel like that's all our cash-in money gone. But I think Eustace wouldn't have left Blackburn to come to you if he weren't given assurances of X amount of money to spend, personally. I tried getting him up as well, but this system doesn't have him on it, which is annoying, because I would have liked to have looked at him in a little bit more depth. Obviously, I've never seen him play in my life, but last striker to come from America to this division that I can think of that were a big unit like that guy is Daryl DK, and holy shit, was that guy the man for the U-Reds. That guy was the man. But yeah, I think Derby have still got a bit more money to spend. Their attendances are ridiculous. You're looking at like a top 6 attendance there. Obviously, second season with Championship money now. I think they've almost escaped any sort of relegation threatened thing there is. They've got a very good manager in Eustace. Yes, you've probably spent some of the cash in money, but that's not all your budget. I reckon you've got like another £5 million as well. And you're linked to Callum Britton as well, who's going to cost you a fair bit of pennies for a rate back. But I think you've got some money, me. I think you've got some money. I think Derby will be pushing up towards trying to break top half a bit this season. But who knows? But thank you, Kieran. It's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Hold on, I'm scrolling up. Limits, where's your message gone? Where's it gone? Limits, I've seen you. I have seen you. I appreciate. Welcome to the Goats, my friend. I appreciate it. It's not come up though for some reason. Watching him at Wembley was sensational. He is magical. Do not want him to leave. He is very good, and people describe him as a little meatball, myself included. But he can shift. Like, see how fast he runs for the goal that Sheffield United scored at Wembley. It rolled down to him from Sunderland's corner. He's like a whippet getting up ball, drags 3 men into him and plays perfect through ball. He's just got that about him, hasn't he? He's just got that about him where he can make stuff happen from absolutely nowhere. And not many players and not many footballers in general have got that anymore. It's quite robotic football to what it once was. But he's still got that. He can still do anything he wants almost on himself. And it is very Sheffield United with sort of players that they've had in recent years. Like Hamer, like Njai, like McGoldrick. These type of boys that could just do anything like that, and it were quite exciting. It does fit that mould. But I just think, I don't know. I think someone's going to come in for him late on. Whether it is PSV, or obviously are heavily linked. Whether it is Leeds late on if they end up missing out on some of the others. But he's a freak. He's just a freak. He can just do everything. He's so good. And now looking at one that's actually linked with, Louis Barry looks increasingly likely that he's going to be brought in on loan. Now that scares me as well. The fact that they're not willing to just buy him. That does scare me as well. Because I think Villa are trying to free up some like PSR funds anyway, which would be to sell some of the like outskirt players, that someone that's never going to play for Villa but still got a decent value, which Louis Barry would fit. But they're not willing to buy him, which is very strange. Very, very strange. When you said elephant in room, I thought you were going to mention England-Sweden penalties last night. Funniest thing I've seen in football. Yeah, that were like Mr. Blobby, wasn't it? That was shocking. What's that guy? Mr. Tumble, when he's missing net. I saw it on Twitter earlier. It made me laugh. That was something else. The game was actually quite good. I just watched it in bed because I was doing no. But yeah, that penalty shootout, wowie. But no, we're talking about golden elephants in this place, mate. Chance here. Louis Barry is good. He's a good player. It's another one that I don't know whether the scouts are just too busy in Bulgaria and these places, because the only players they're getting linked to are ex-Ruben Sellers boys. They're the only sort of players that they've been linked to so far. Obviously, they brought Binden in from his time at Reading when he brought him through centre-half, and that is a good signing, don't get me wrong. And I think this would be half decent as well. But Louis Barry is the type of player that I expect to go to a mid-table side trying to maybe potentially flirt with play. You know, someone like a Millwall or a Swansea. So, not Sheffield United with the money that they have got and the pulling power that they should have. That's what's scaring me from their perspective. The real lack of serious interest in top players, because there's not been a lot of it. But it's another block. He had him on loan at Hull, didn't he? So it's just another Ruben Sellers boy, and I feel like they're trusting his word rather than doing any actual work. From the sound of things, it's a strange. He's just odd. A Bristol City. Well, yeah, Bristol City actually got in though last time, didn't they? But yeah, I do agree. That caliber of club, I expected him to go to somewhere like that. Not someone that you'd expect on outskirts to just be up and challenging for autos again, maybe. Verdict's out on Louis Barry, did well at Stockport and maybe should have stayed there. I agree. I think they should have kept him there in January. But from a Villa perspective, they're obviously trying to get a fee for this bloke eventually. So keeping him at Stockport's fine. But if he could have then proved it, if he didn't get injured at Hull, and he could have proved it at Hull in second half of the season, you can just chuck millions on his price tag, can't you? Because he's never going to play for Villa. Fabian H, thank you for the £2, my friend. Incredible photo. Thoughts on Sargent, 21 million, and Sands, 15 million fees. Well, Sands has gone, hasn't he? That's a great fee for Roger Sands. He had that purple patch that lasted like 3 months. But I never, ever thought he was worth that money, ever. Sargent, I actually do. And I've not put him on here, which is very annoying. Because I think he's the complete 9. I think he's best striker in this division easily from last season. I think he's nuts. I really do. He's good at everything. I think that's honestly a fair fee. And that, you know what it is? Norwich well, they're not even, I know it's a big club. They've got massive attendances now. And the amount of money that they bring in on a consistent basis is quite scary. But the defence has been so poor. They've been so top-heavy for the last couple of years. I think he should go to Prem as well. I seriously think he could do a job at someone like Forest. I'm being completely honest with you. Especially with Europe factor and the rotational side of things that they're going to have to do. I thought it'd have been a good signing for someone like that. Not for this price. I wouldn't expect a Prem side to pay that price. But it's very, very, very good. Norwich have got some brass. They've made some really good signings early doors. They've got a good manager now that they've nicked from a playoff side from last year. Is it a failure if Norwich don't get top 6? Really? Looking at it that way? With him, if they do get the Sargent money as well, if he does go for 20 million quid, they're sat on like, what, 25, 30? They've got some pulling power there, you know. They've got a lot to say, Norwich, in this transfer window. But thank you, Fabian. I appreciate the 2, mate. It's very kind of you. Right, next. I don't even know what next one is. Vardy. Okay, we'll touch on this one quickly. Someone said no Birmingham interest. Or no to speak about with Birmingham. There is this and that's it. Right. Wolves were the first ones to show interest after he's left Leicester on a free. Wolves were the first one to show interest. Rangers are being linked with every either old boy, free agent, or cheap young'un in this country for some reason. It's I don't know what Russell Martin's playing at, to be honest, but they're shopping in England only, exclusively for some reason. And you could understand them 2 moves. Rangers are just going to win every week, and he could just almost play walking football and score loads of goals. Then you've got Europe as well. Wolves, it's still Premier League football. He's going to come off bench and get odd bit of game time, but he's not going to start. Birmingham are offering the same thing on a lower scale than what Wolves are. I just don't understand. If they offer the same amount of money, which is crazy in itself that Birmingham could get to that sort of money anyway, But if Birmingham and Wolves are offering the same amount of money and he chooses Birmingham, that is a very, very scary state for this league, I'm telling you. A very, very scary place to be. Because if Birmingham can get someone like this in, if they can offer what Wolves are going to offer, which is you're not going to start every week, but you can come off bench, you can do odd bits, you know what I mean? It will use you as and when, but you're not going to, you're 38, you're not going to play every week now. And if he chose Birmingham in Championship over doing that with Wolves in Premier League, that is weird. That is quite weird. Imagine Kyogo, Stansfield, Dykes, and Vardy. Well, Dykes is shit, but rest of them, yeah, I can understand. They're like, Birmingham are cooking something up big time. They're moving very, very quick. They're just moving these players around really fast. They're looking good. May I think he'll end up going out and loan me. But that's a scary place to be. Right. Do you think Jamie Vardy plays match bingo? Probably. He does look the type. To be fair, he's getting his house built in Cawthorne, so it's one of the villages close to me where I live in Barnsley. And it's like a really posh place. It's one of the only areas in Barnsley that's like, ooh, do you know what I mean? Like one of them ones. So I might just go and knock on his door and see if he's in and ask him. You know, Wednesday fan. Wednesday boy, where do you live, bro? Barnsley. Oh my God. Shooketh. Absolutely shooketh. Right. This is quite a big one. Well, it's not quite. This is an absolutely humongous deal for this division. Amari Hutchinson, is he worth 40 million quid? To me, no. Like, based on the potential side of things, because he's 21, I could see it long term. And we're on loan from Arsenal. Maybe Arsenal have got some sort of sell on. But did he have a £30 million release clause that had expired? And Brentford wanted to trigger that. But now that it's obviously expired, Ipswich can play their hand and want a little bit more. But, 40 million quid. If I were Ipswich, I'd snap the hand up and run. Me, personally. That is a fantastic sale. You would bring in 70 million quid off of two players. And it is the best two players, probably, in Delap and Hutchinson. But $70 million, bro. They've got a lot to play with. A lot to play with. They've also brought... it was Chelsea, wasn't it? Chelsea. 35 million is what expired. See, I think they'll get 40 then for him. Which, he is good. And I'm sure, like, get him down to Brentford and the coaching side of things and the development that they bring through is nuts. Do you know what I mean? That you look at the players that they've brought through over years and then sold for loads of money and then replace and then rinse repeat all the time. Is the next Embuemo sort of thing. Not to that standard, you'd not think yet. But he's gonna be in that position. He's gonna play the Embuemo position. And I also do think he's better than what Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland have got. So immediately you're looking at strengthening on the three sides that are coming up. Brentford are going to be fine anyway. I'm not even playing into this Brentford thing that they could be in trouble. Brentford are going to be fine. And it's a loss by position, obviously, because he is a good player. And for this league, he would just be very good, especially with the experience of playing at top flight now. But £70 million is £70 million. And Ipswich are then... They've spent 10 million quid on somebody, haven't they, that we're going to look at in a sec, that I've never heard of in my entire life. But they've lost them two. They're going to lose Morsi, aren't they, to some side somewhere else? Some like, is it a Saudi Arabia side? Maybe it's someone like that. Anyway, someone that's going to give him loads of money. He's going to go. Obviously, Luongo's been released on a free as well, so they need to bring a midfielder in. They've got Hurst as well. That's just there that could score a lot of goals. I think, mate, you just look at the budgets of clubs, and Ipswich just stand out as having absolutely loads and loads and loads of money. Loads. Q8, that's the one with Morsi. They've just got so much brass. I struggle to see how teams could look better than them by the time window's done. All three that have come down are getting worse. You know what I mean? They're having to sell players, they're releasing players. They're going to get the best players picked to bits. The teams that are in this division from last season, last season's championship, looking at it, you've got what? Like Sheffield United signings very dull, I would say. Who else have you got? Bristol City are going to get worse because Manning's gone. Obviously, Sunderland got promoted. Who else? Millwall are just always there or thereabouts, but never got enough to get in. Norwich look quite good with what they're doing. Middlesbrough are getting worse. Coventry haven't done a great deal yet. Ipswich, I know they're going to lose the two best players, like I've said, but with the amount of money that they've got to bring the boys in, and everybody else is still going to strengthen as well. But I tell you what, when this is done, when it's all said and done, and we're all sat here on September 1st, looking at a completed transfer window and what it looks like, these should have best 11 in league by an absolute mile. By a mile. Ipswich are going to piss it, I do agree. I think, looking at it so far, my two favourites are genuinely Ipswich and Birmingham. Looking at the two strongest sides so far, or what I think will be strongest sides by the time it's done. Honestly, maybe Birmingham are looking strongest at the minute, which is crazy, but they did build a top 10 championship side in League One, and then the lads that they've brought in so far are going to add to it. We're going to get to John Swift, don't worry. But yeah, there is that with Mario Hutchinson and Ipswich. But we're not done on Ipswich because there's going to be another one in a sec once I've addressed this. Zach, thank you for £2 again, mate. Added to your 5. It's very kind of you. Sunderland signed first non-AFCON lad. So funny. Who is it? Oh, is it some winger? I saw there's some Romain Mundle stuff going on, isn't there? I don't know why, because I might sound crazy, but I don't rate him that highly. But I saw they were after some French winger, I think, unless it is him. But also, when you look at Sunderland's, we'll just quickly talk about this, because Sunderland are basically a championship side anyway. They'll be back here in a minute. Sunderland's January fixtures, when AFCON is going on, I forgot what it is off the top of my head, but they've got like Man City twice, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Bournemouth. Something ridiculous like that. So you're going to lose them all anyway. So I don't blame them for going, like, the AFCON aspect to me don't mean anything from a Sunderland perspective, because you'd think they're bringing in a lot of players that you probably can get slightly cheaper just because of the AFCON aspect that comes with them, because they are going to be gone in middle of the season where you don't get that with other nations. But I think they'll have a good go at it. I still think they're coming down, don't get me wrong, but I think you know what, I think they're having a good go at it so far. I do. They weren't going to win them anyway, exactly. They weren't going to win them, so what's the point? But thank you. I appreciate it, Zach. Some French winger from an Italian club. Right. From Sassuolo, did somebody say? Lorient Sassuolo says Joseph up the Blades, up the Borough, up the Blackburn, whatever you are. But thank you. I appreciate it, Zach. Very kind of you. Right. Any Middlesbrough boys, look away now, because I have seen this. How true it is, I don't know, but I have seen this. And it makes sense. Like, again, if I click the next one, you are looking at two of... Well, obviously, Ipswich's captain that looks like he's going to leave, Sam Morsi, and Luongo's gone on a free as well. They have brought this guy in, which I will just talk about really quickly as well. Azor Matusiwa, who has played for Rennes in the French division for 4 seasons, I think. I don't know whether they've got Europe or not. And obviously, I've never watched this bloke in my entire life. But from all reports, he sounds like a monster. So he's going to fit straight in, and it's one midfielder in so far. They have got that Cajuste as well, who's he's still there. He looks quite good as well. But when you're going to lose these two players, you do have to bring quality in, and Aidan Hackney is one that's being linked, which is nuts. It's nuts. I think if he's going to leave, it is to a Premier League side. But you're almost in this weird... We're in this weird alternate universe now, where a Premier League side is Ipswich next season. Do you know what I mean? And if you're thinking, they're going to get championship moves, that is Sunderland and Leeds next year. So we're in these 6 or 7 teams that you're saying, oh, we could get a Prem move, but they're going to be a Prem move this time next year. You know what I mean? Could you just gone back to Napoli? Never mind. Okay, that makes even more sense. That makes even more sense. You think when Blues go up, you'll be more established? I completely disagree. Like, but Birmingham have got loads of money for this division, same as Wrexham. But once you get to Prem, it means niche. It means niche. These sides that you're going to be going up against, by the time Birmingham get up, they will have had 5 seasons in a row, making at least £100 million more than you every year. It's crazy. It's never happening. No one's staying up ever again, unfortunately. And Ipswich are one of them sides that's in this clump, the eternal switchover now, I would imagine, based on the amount of money that they could spend. You want 25 mil for Hayden Hackney? How long's left in his contract? Hold on. Aidan Hackney has got 2 years left on his contract. You are not getting 25 million quid for a bloke with 2 years left on his contract. That ain't happening. I could maybe see you going up to like 15, but 25 million quid ain't happening. Luongo's on trial at Millwall. Good fit, do you think? I like him. I really like him. I don't know if he's going to go to you, though. I saw that he was training with you, but I don't know if he's actually going to go there. But Hackney's very, very, very good. And this, again, it scares me for Middlesbrough. Obviously, they've not spent anything yet. And maybe they're actually skinned. Maybe there's some underlying stuff that we're not seeing. And the finances will come out in like next year or something and see the amount of losses that they're making. Because everybody's losing stupid amounts of money anyway, aren't they? But maybe this could get ball rolling for them to actually spend some money. He's a very good midfielder, though, isn't he? I like him. I really like this guy. I think his ceiling's quite high. He's got a lot of experience in game time now for the age that he is at 23. And his goal contributions are quite good for what type of midfielder he is. I really like him. I don't know if I can't remember if he's captain or not. But is he not a Middlesbrough boy? He's been about forever, it feels like, for someone that's 23. I really, really do rate this man. And he's one that could very seamlessly slip or fit from the Carrick style of play to the Rob Edwards one, because he's a player that can just do everything, which helps. And again, I said it yesterday, it feels quite rare to me now to see a midfielder that can do everything, which is just what it used to be anyway. But every midfielder now is either a 6 or a 10 or something else. There's just not a midfielder anymore. But I like him. I like him. And if Ipswich can get that over the line, it'll be one of the best deals at Winder easily. It'll be big. When you're going to come to pay us a visit down Fortress St Andrews? Probably not for many years, mate, unless we end up going to Premier League with you. Not for a long, long time. I don't want you in Cup either because you just slap us up. So I'd be happy to never see you again, respectfully, until we get some decent owners in. But this will be a big old signing. Big old signing that for Borough. Or for Ipswich even. We'll just skip through this stuff now that we've touched on that quite a bit. We are now looking at Wrexham. Now, this isn't actually a done deal yet. It's not been announced. But from all the reports, it's done. They're just waiting for Wrexham to get back from New Zealand or wherever the hell it is they are. And then it's all going to be done then, by the sounds of it. But this bloke from Ajax, he were on loan at Cardiff for the second half of last season. And even though they were an absolute mess, he looked half decent, personally. I thought he looked alright. Didn't pull any trees up, but you're not going to do for a side that's going to finish bottom of the league, are you? I thought he looked alright. It's £3 million, I think, would be Wrexham's record transfer. And it is a midfielder which I would agree is an area that they need to strengthen. Like, they've got Matty James, Rathbone, them sort of boys. But they need a lot of depth because some of them are older. And you can get away with that in League One when you're going to control most at ball. But in this division this season, Wrexham are not going to control a lot of ball. I think we will see a big shift in play style this season to what we've seen before from them. They're still going to be in and around like probably bottom half, but still in mid-tail, like 13, 15, something around there. They'll still be fine easily. But they are going to have to surrender some at ball a bit. And I couldn't see someone like Matty James at the age that he is. Pardon me, sorry. I couldn't see someone like Matty James or some other old boys they've got consistently giving up ball and having to just shift left to right and wasting so much energy all the time. They need more depth. All the time! They need more depth, and he looks like one that could be. Same as this one. This is another one that looks more or less nailed on to be done. It is Lebrato Kakasi from Empoli to Wrexham. This is a club record at £4 million. You think Wrexham have got a crap squad, will be bottom three as of right now? No chance. Absolutely no chance. And people saying about Parkinson leaving as well, that he'll get sacked. I disagree with that as well. He's done really good. Last season, they did really good. To be up where they were in January, obviously they spent loads of dosh in Jan, but for him to be where they were, like top 4-ish in Jan, which squad that they come up with, which were fairly poor, I thought Parkinson did a really good job. And also, defensively, they are very, very, very good. And they're going to add to that with a club record fee for a defender. I know we are talking about League One here, but they conceded 34 goals last season in 46 games. At home, they were very good and hard to break down. They were really good at trapping you in, I thought. A lot of time, teams like to trap you out, don't they? They like to let your wingers have ball and then see if you can take me on sort of thing. A lot of teams do defend like that. But Wrexham funneled it through middle. It was very odd to see, but it was so clear when I went to their place on that Tuesday night and we ended up getting scammed 1-0. We lost in like 95th minute or something daft, and then Carl won't start. It weren't good. It weren't a good time. But they trap you at middle. The fullbacks are very, very wide. I know they play a 5-back, but they're very wide. They're still quite touchline, and they will trap you into middle, and then you're getting pressed from like 5 different angles. They are structured really good, and I could see why they conceded such a little amount of goals. But this ball being added to it, I think speaks volumes on the ambition, really, that they conceded so little. It was second least in division. Only Birmingham conceded less, and they conceded 3 less, and that were it. If they're spending this much money on a defender, which is the strongest area on pitch, it scares me about what they've got left. You know what I mean? Obviously, they've got this midfielder as well that they're being linked to. But if they've got that much to spend on a player in the strongest area, the amount that they've got towards top does terrify me quite a lot. especially when I know who a player is that they have been linked to, which is our boy Davis Keeler-Dunn. Now, I saw this earlier, and I think it's absolute codswallop, personally. I've been told all summer, and I've kept checking in with this with the people that I know. I've kept checking in all summer. Dunn is very happy at Barnsley. He don't want to move. The only place that he would move to is to go further north, to be where his wife and kid is, and in the big new house that they've built in Middlesbrough. So I don't see this as being true, but Wrexham's like in the know guys are saying on their side, Dunn's agent saying that there's some progressive talks, which is fine. You can sort of come in and agree your wages and all this, but unless you're going to put minimum £5 million on table in front of Barnsley, they've got no chance. You have not got a sniff, brother. And Mansfield fans like to say that we did this with them, which we did. Like, their agent obviously pulled some strings and got him out to come to us. But how long did he have left on his contract at Mansfield? As of right now, this fella has got 3 years left on his deal for us. It's not happening. Bloody hell, this shit ain't happening. It's just not happening. You think an agent can truly come in and say, oh, well, if you don't sell us now, I don't know. What are you going to do? What could you possibly do? If you've got a year left on your contract, then it's, if you don't sell us now, then we're going to leave for free and you get no. Oh, you've got us for 3 years. At 27, well, you're not 35, are you? Your career's not rotting away. You've only going to go one way if you play half decent, and that's upwards. What can his agent actually truly do? I'm going to go with niche, personally. I'm going to go with absolutely niche. Am I panicking? Not yet, but I will be doing if I see some like big journals come in and say, oh, Wrexham have put £5 million on table in front of Barnsley, then yeah, then that would be very, very scary. That would be scary. But until they do that, I've got no reason to be worried. He's apparently happy here. The way that the players and people in club are saying that Urian has changed everything behind the scenes is very good to hear. I am looking forward to this season with Keeler-Dunn at Barnsley, personally. If a player turns around to me and says, Dunn weren't in training today, he's going to Wrexham, then I will lose my mind. I will tweak to a new level. You will never see tweaking like it. I'll tell you what, I'll make you all a promise right now. I don't care what day it is, what time it is. If we sell Davis Keeler-Dunn, honestly, 5 minutes after it's announced, come onto this channel, I'll be live. I'll be live. I'll be tying noose live on cam. But I don't think he's going. I've got no reason to believe he's going. Just because Wrexham's side is saying there's some talks progressing. This talks progressing with about 100 players every day. It means absolutely jack diddle niche squat. So swivel on that, dickheads. And also, it's, you know what does scare me? The fact that if we do get, like, say if it's, Barnsley's club record fee is £6.5 million for Ward when we're in Premier League. And Mawson as well to follow me with about £6 million, something like that. If we're talking, like, potentially club record level fees for a League One player, it would be one of the highest fee. It might actually be the highest sale ever from League One if we do sell him. And it scares me the fact that we will get six, probably, alright, so say if we're selling for 6, I think Mansfield have got 20% of profit, so we'd probably bring in about £5 million afterwards. We would spend maximum £1 million, and that is what terrifies me. Piss off. 5 mil. The club themselves have quoted the price is minimum £5 million for him. That's what the club themselves have said. We have no reason to sell. His owner's worth billions. We've got no reason to sell. We consistently bring his wage budget down every single year. We spend nothing. We have no reason to sell. Phillips is definitely going to be sold as well, or loan with an obligation. Phillips won't be here, so he's going to be a big sale. We consistently release players. His wage bill is minuscule now. His attendance is a top 6 for this division that we're in. Why should we kneel to the commands of an agent for a player that's got 3 years left on his contract? If you thought you were going to be here for a year, you should have signed a year deal, you tosser. How's that? I'm speaking to his agent, by the way, not to Davis Keeler-Dunn. Love you, Dunn. I would never say anything about you. But his agent could swivel on that. Anyway, moving on. Right. John Swift. Read a forfeit if DKD goes. I'll do a 24-hour live stream if DKD goes. I'll just make stuff. It's not even going to be all about football. I'll just leave camera on and I'll go to bed. I'll do a 24-hour live stream from within 5 minutes of it being announced, I will cancel all my plans and immediately stream for 24 hours. There you go. If he comes out, he wants to go, there is no way he'd get 5 million. But thing is, let's just go back to this. I'm going to address that comment. I'm going to get it up on screen because I've got the best point you've ever read in your entire life, right? If he comes out and says he wants to go, there's no way you get 5 million quid. So if he says he wants to go and we say no, then what? What does he do? Be honest with me. You're David Skilldon in this situation. You want to leave. You've got 3 years left on the contract. We said no. Then what? What are you going to do? Play with under 23s for 3 years and then your career's done by the time you come out? Or are you just going to go, oh, well, I guess I'll just have to play like normal and then just get Barnsley promoted? Do you know what I mean? Your options are play or your career ends. He's 27. Play now or you're Sparky in 3 years. And they are your options. You've got nothing. You've got no choice. If you've got a year left on your contract, yeah. Or if we've got Chansiri as an owner, yeah, which was borderline on anyway. But there's just no way. His agent cannot get him out of this. And also, he don't want to leave. From all I'm being told, he don't want to leave. So I'm not buying into this balls. Josie, thank you for the £2, my friend. Force on Inks to Borough, much needed experience. Is that a thing that's actually happening? I've not seen that linked. Personally, shut up, LH10. I've not seen that linked. It would be a good experience with the amount of games that he's played at an high level. But I don't know if he's the man to get you top 6, really. I think it'd be the one of many. But yeah, it'd be a good signing that. It'd just be if he's to get ball rolling as well with some experience. But thank you for the 2, Joseph. I appreciate it again very much. Right, John, getting you back up on screen again. Refuse to play. You'll want to get what you can in... Why? Just why would he refuse to play? Why? I'm not seeing that happen. I can't remember the last time I actually saw it be reported that a footballer refused to play for his club with 3 years left on his contract. I just don't see that as being a realistic thing that could happen from a player that has said many times, and to my knowledge, all players report this as well, that he's very happy to be here. He loves the place. He loves Urian. He loves everything about it. Is he going to get more money at Wrexham? Yeah. But also, he's on more money now than he was at Mansfield, you know what I mean? And he signed a 4-year deal for a reason. Contracts do exist for a reason. I'm just not having it. Oops, sorry, Joseph, just got you up on as well. Advanced talks. We'll be back up to Conway. Oh, you thinking he's coming to be a backup? I don't know about that. I don't know if I could see him coming in to be a backup personally. I think he'd want to start if he were coming in. Right, John Swift. We'll get on with this. John Swift. Right. I really like this. I saw him getting linked with Reading and Barnsley and some other sides in League One, but it would never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. This is a very good pick-up for John Swift. Very good pick-up for Portsmouth. Very good deal all round for both parties. Obviously, it weren't in favour at West Brom near end. And West Brom are sort of coming to the end of this cycle now when they first got relegated and they were proper skinned, where they were just picking up frees from other Championship sides, like John Swift from Reading at the time, like Moat from Barnsley. They went and got Ismail from Barnsley. They got DK from chuffing Barnsley effectively. They just ripped us to bits, West Brom, really. They just tore us a new arsehole as soon as they got relegated. But yeah, I think they're sort of coming towards the end of that tenure, West Brom now, and they're spending some money that they've actually got, and they're getting rid of players like John Swift, who they weren't playing that much towards end. They were coming off bench and here and there, and he's still a very good player. I really like him. He just don't fit the standards that West Brom have got anymore, which is try and get in top 6. But for a mid-table, lower half side in this league, to maybe be like a rotational option, he'll start, then come off bench, this, that, over. I think he's still very, very good for that level. And for Portsmouth. I think he suits Portsmouth to ground. I'd be very happy with that signing if I were a Portsmouth man. Championship predictions when? I'll do them probably next week. I don't want to do them now. I want to get as much time as I can before transfers and that come out. But I'll probably be next week. Because I need to do them before season starts, don't I? I can't do it like once transfer window's shut. But it'll be next week. And then this is the last one that I've got, which is Callum Britton is being linked to Derby. And then we'll just cover some like comments and stuff like that. I'll not touch on this for very long. But yeah, Callum Britton to Derby apparently for £2.5 million. I'm not sure how true this actually is. And I hope it is true because Barnsley have got to sell on for him. because he went to Blackburn from Barnsley when we got relegated. And he is an half-decent fullback, I'll be completely real. Oh, yeah, daylight time lapses I'm going to do, mate. I'll do them all. We do a Prem live anytime. I think you don't like it. You know what I mean? I am in talks with some company for some Premier League related things, but that's on TikTok, so who knows. But I would like this if I were a Derby fan. I would like this. No Charlton signings. Yeah, but I covered a lot of yours in last one. Is thing. I covered a lot of your boys in last one, and you've not done anything in that time since. I would like this. I think he's one of Derby's, not Derby. I think he's one of Blackburn's best players. I don't know why he's trying to jump ship again. Like, because obviously Ismail, once he left Barnsley, then Britain had a year with us when we got relegated, and then he went. I'd have thought he'd have wanted to stay at Blackburn under Ismail, because the best season that Britain's ever had in his entire career was with Barnsley under Ismail. So I'm surprised that he'd be sort of looking for a way out. I'd think he'd want to work under that man again, just based on knowing what he can do. But people are jumping ship from Blackburn to Derby potentially for a reason. Same as manager has. Derby are offering more money. There's a consistent, ambitious hierarchy at Derby that Blackburn just have not got. Despite their owners spending some money this year for the first time in a while, they've not got the money that Derby have got. But I think that'd be a very good signing, me personally. It's quite a lot for a wing back at 27, but I do think it's a very good signing. And Derby have got some brass. We underestimate the money that Derby generate every year just based on their attendances. It's what is it? Do they get like nearly 30k a week in Derby? It's nuts. It's stupid attendances. Part of that with Championship money now. Part of that with cash in being sold. They've got some brass. They've got some brass. They have. Going to be gutted when he goes, but clubs fault for letting him get to a year. So he's got a year left on his deal, and he could get £2.5 million for a fullback. That's a rate sale. That's a good sale, that, Mike. You can't complain at that, mate. That is a good sale. Very good sale. But that's that. Boys, that's that. We have been going for 50 minutes, so I might just call it there so I don't just wear it out. But it's been a blast, that. That's gone quite quick. I've enjoyed it. Who's got best owners in EFL? Birmingham by a mile. And Wrexham, to be fair. Birmingham and Wrexham. But there are a lot of clubs that are just like quite steady. Preston's are quite good. In fairness, they just put consistent money in. Don't spend stupid money. Do really well within the means, really. Can you do more predictions? Well, I'll run you through next season quickly. So on here, in the time span from the season starting to transfer window ending, we're going to be very, very busy. I'm telling you now, there's going to be like 5 lives a week. There's going to be so much shit. But I will put posts on YouTube or on Twitter, like keeping everybody in loop. That argument looks good to Derby, to be fair. That argument does look good. From the bits that I've seen, I only watched like an highlight reel that I saw on YouTube afterwards that someone linked. But it looked good. And it just looks like a big unit, doesn't it? Him and Morris up front. There'll be a lot of set pieces again lobbed into the box from Derby, I'll tell you that. A lot of set pieces. Who finishes iced out to last season's promoted sides? Portsmouth, Derby, Oxford. Or from last season? Oh, that's a good question. Probably Derby. Oh, Portsmouth, Derby and Oxford are all building something though. That's quite an hard question. I would probably go at the minute Derby, Oxford, Portsmouth, but I wouldn't be surprised with either because I think all three of them are like, again, speaking about decent orders, them three, and they're all building something good there. Am I doing deadline day live? I will be doing. But once season starts, there'll be this. I'm doing watch-alongs on like Fridays, some Sunday mornings, and then I'll have to move the transfer ones to Thursday, Wednesday, and I've got the Barnsley one on Monday. So we're looking at like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday minimum, and then maybe a Sunday morning one as well if there's a good game. We're putting the work in, baby. But I'm saving for an house deposit, so can you blame me? Here comes the money. Right, boys, absolute pleasure. Anybody that's donated, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support constantly. So I do a lot of lives. People do consistently donate, which is nuts because you don't need to and you get nothing for it. Same as the membership things. You get a John Stones badge. You get nothing apart from making me smile and feel good. But thank you very much, anybody that's donated. Anybody that sits and watches, thank you so much. Alt chat, love you all. Anybody that just sits and lurks as well. There's a lot of people that do that because I do that with other streamers. Thank you very much for being here. What will Watford do this season? Probably bottom half, but safe. House in Barnsley, 20 quid. Have that. Boys, absolute pleasure. Love you all. Kiss. We've got a video on Sunday. But after that, we're wrapping around to Monday again for Barnsley Live. And hopefully there'll be some good stuff to say because there's been a lot of outgoings, but not a lot of ins. Hopefully that changes.